Welcome, everybody, to the Midnight Frogs podcast. Today, we are celebrating the release of Sergeant Frog Abridged Episode 11 and the launch of Season 2. With me, as always, is Mugiwara Yoshi.
Hello, I'm invisible.
And Big T Unit 1.
And hi, I'm not.
Before we start, we've got a few updates. We've been talking about this in the pre-show. Yoshi and I are planning on going to Anime Boston this April. We're saving up money, and we don't have tickets or anything planned yet, but it's on the schedule, and we're going to be going as soon as we get everything sorted out.
Gonna be meeting a lot of great people. We're even gonna skip. I have skipping plans. I don't know about you guys, but
Down the hall, utterly gaily.
yes. And it's good. We're gonna look so fucking cool. I swear to God.
Arms locked and everything.
Yep.
Gonna clothesline everyone we see.
We're off to see the wizard.
Oh, hey, it's Sheik! Blah!
Yes, I'm going to cosplay as Sheik while I'm there.
I'm gonna cosplay as a guy wearing normal clothes, just cause.
You should cosplay as a Mugiwara Yoshi.
Yeah, that guy is pretty sexy.
Just dress in a Godzilla costume and put on a straw hat, it'll be perfect.
Hang on, Yoshi, you're gonna have to show us actual pics to confirm that.
No.
Let's see. Lily is thinking of going. She says it's just a bus ride away from where she lives. And Verhias and his friend Alicia actually live in the area, so they might be dropping by as well. And I think a few others are thinking about it, but it might be a big Midnight Frogs meetup if everything works out.
If my money situation is good by April, then maybe.
Yeah, it'd be great.
So I like traveling, so.
I really thought Massachusetts was closer to the middle of USA.
Oh
No,
my
it's,
god.
No, it's not, Austin.
Yeah, I pulled up the Wikipedia. I saw it was on the complete other side of the country. And I thought I'm gonna have a fucking long flight.
Yes, you are.
I'm actually the closest. They're like, oh wow, it's like I just need to take a bus. Huh.
My benefit is just I live in the middle of the state, so everything's just as far from me, no matter really where I go.
I haven't been farther than Iowa in my life either, so this will be pretty cool for me.
And wow, of all places, Iowa.
Yeah, and it took me a week or so to drive out there. I was going with my dad. He was having a crisis, but that's okay.
Yeah. I just remember going there. I remember going into not Ohio, what am I saying? Going into Iowa for about 30 minutes and wanting to leave.
I liked it there, but then I was in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandpa's farm, so didn't really meet a lot of people.
I'm such a city guy, though, that I'm sitting there going, like, there's only one fucking store in this entire town!
Ah!
Pretty much that reaction.
Yeah. And me, I just want to travel everywhere. Because I'm tired of being in Jersey. I haven't done anything. My life is boring.
I'm curious, though. Say water.
Water.
Wow, you're unique.
Why? Why?
I've known a lot of people from New Jersey, and they always say water.
No, water. Hi, Dad. Bye, Dad.
Yeah, you're like the least sounding New Jersey guy in New Jersey.
I'm probably the whitest Dominican ever, too. But enough about my life. Who cares?
Yeah, Anime Boston coming up in April, and it's gonna be.
Well, thanks.
Maybe if you guys work
What?
out something, you can make some sort of, like, Midnight Frogs midnight panel.
Yeah, there's Midnight Frogs podcast live from camera because I'm buying a digital camcorder specifically for Anime Boston.
Lauren will be topless, everybody.
Hey,
I'll be bottomless, just like Donald Duck.
it's gonna depend on the Chic costume. Like if I get it a little too big for me and I need to fill it out, but I might be working out through all of March, so I may actually just walk around topless just because I'll look really good.
I'll be the guy hanging on the ceiling fan going, wee!
Swinging around. You let go and you fly out the window.
Totally worth it!
Oh, Oh, the pool's on the other side of the hotel.
Wait, there's the opposite side.
I told you guys, Travis isn't my type.
Everyone's under that indication for some reason.
That's not what the 75 Yowie, Travis X Thorne fanfics say.
This is the first I've heard of that.
I'm kidding!
It's like, that's why I was kind of sitting there going, like, he's joking, right?
Of course! Unless you want me to write it, then hell yeah.
Well, someone was asking about if we're going to have another Yowie contest. We weren't.
I'd honestly be questioning you a bit, Yoshi, if you did write it. Is this a way of letting out your jealousy? Because that picture indicated. So.
And then Travis bit into his burrito and was like, I would like your burrito.
I won't bite on that one, though, unless you want me to.
Let's share some tater tots.
Alright, so let's move on. Anime Boston,
Yeah.
We're going.
We've thoroughly made you uncomfortable, so let's move on.
Let's see. After the podcast, Travis and I, and hopefully Code Blackout if she signs on soon, will begin writing for Jetters Abridged 3. You guys have been waiting on that for a while. Thanks to 2 of you assholes, but I'm probably not going to keep that problem up. I've decided if people are going to bitch me out for not posting both Jetters or Sergeant Frog, you're just getting an instant block. So, yay, more Jetters.
Yay! About time, too.
Yeah.
That means you get to see more Birdie, which is always fun.
Yeah. And despite what some people thought, Joriri was not an XP for Birdie.
No, not really.
It was a way for Travis to get some of Birdie out of his system, but they're not quite the same.
Well, I tap into a different kind of comedy when I tap into when I was writing Joriri lines, because Joriri came off a lot more like a man who's trying to give wisdom but is fucking out of his mind.
And Birdie just talks.
Yeah, basically.
The one major difference I can say is that Birdie, he just talks about, shit that makes sense to him, and Jory, well, he makes you explode.
Excuse me. Burpity burr.
Burpity burr, indeed.
On a similar note, hopefully today, maybe tomorrow, Travis and I will also be starting our Bomberman Jetters Let's Play. And Yoshi is finally returning to commentating Let's Plays for that. So he'll join us in that.
Yeah, hopefully I won't be rusty and be like complete dick or ass at it.
I can just imagine you hitting it with a bunch of puns. You could actually say you made a bomb of a good time.
I don't do that on LPs. At least I don't think so. I don't know. I have to rewatch a few. Was I garbage? I don't know.
No, you were pretty good. Don't worry.
Yeah, hopefully.
At the same time, I've decided, since I'm playing the fuck out of the game anyway, I'm also going to Let's Play 007 Agent Under Fire, and Travis and Yoshi will be joining me for that as well. So you have 2 Let's Plays going on at the same time, which I already have a shitload of footage to that's readily available right now. So you guys are going to have plenty of Let's Play fun in the next several months. And Yoshi, you're finally getting around to Hidden in the Code 3.
Yeah, I'm going to do Hidden in the Code 3 after, forever. I know I keep saying, oh my god, guys, I am so going to do Hidden in the Code 3, and then I never do it. This time I'm fucking sure I got.
So for those people who don't know, what is that?
Well, Hidden in the Code is a video game thing I do where I talk about myths and other cool stuff about video games because I'm a faggot about video games.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, I usually go into history of certain things, my theories, blah blah blah, why they did this, why they did that. And I haven't done I've been planning episode 3 for about a year or something.
Something like that.
Something like
Yoshi
that.
puts a whole new meaning on the word blowing in the cartridge.
Yes, I do. Why do you think it's hidden? Yes. No. Yeah, but the 3rd episode's going to be about Ocarina of Time and the Unicorn Fountain. I don't know how many times I fucking said that, hey, the next episode's going to be that, but, and I also remember seeing a comment somewhere like, oh, what happened to, you had a whole list of episodes. I have a list of them, I'm just fucking lazy. So yeah, ask for when, I don't know, probably a week, 2, I don't know. Usually it's pretty much when I feel like it.
Yeah.
No timing. Just listen for it and shut up.
I mean, God.
God, what a problem.
I made 2. Isn't that enough for you?
Obviously not.
Mm-mm.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Do you want to
fucking-
answer the obvious answer? I mean,
No.
you're like, no.
like I was like, oh yeah, sure. Like I managed to start the thing before Jetters was even around, and now Jetters has passed him. Like, well, fuck.
Imoga, que Pucci, ha ha. Ha 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 ha. What about fractions?
It was far.
Beautiful made of fire. I am learning with fractions.
You guys haven't seen that video yet. You're all cretins.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Fun,
Hidden in the
fun.
Code 3 is coming out someday, which is soon.
Well, my comment to that is fun. Ugly fire.
I'll be right back.
Hectares,
Is-
ha.
My food is here. Never mind, they brought it to me.
Hi. All right, let's move on to the meat of the podcast. Episode 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't know if you guys are aware of it now. I'm kind of done with explaining the usual shit, all the callbacks, all of the references and whatnot. So we're only going to explain things that really need it. So this podcast is going to be relatively short.
Awesome. Means I get to take a nap. No, I'm good.
No,
You can if you want. You can.
You are working for me afterwards.
Fuck. Well, whatever.
You are his bitch.
I am nobody's bitch. I am a P-bot.
That bomber bot, however, woofy.
I am Black Bomber. Wait.
So yeah, SFA.
SFA11. Mm.
Alrighty.
Acha!
Now, when we wrote episode 1, I realized, I think it was either me or Yoshi who realized we kind of made another plot hole we didn't mean to make.
I think you pointed it out.
It's probably me, because I'm really focused on this whole continuity shit. Episode 10, at the very end, HQ comments about Karo not doing his job. And in episode 1, the remake, we have HQ saying that they just dropped Karo off and his platoon off at Earth. So episode 11 starts with clearing up that plot hole where they did drop the Karo platoon off at Earth, but they still had a mission. So you can think about all of this as in they drop them off and have them take over Earth as a means of keeping them out of the way. Because if you haven't noticed, they're kind of jackasses.
Just a bit. Okay, they're bad.
Pretty bad. There's an awful lot of talk about sexuality in this episode. And I want to point out a few things.
Yeah.
First of all, I actually came out of the closet during production of this episode. I am a bisexual transvestite. And I know what you're thinking, and you're wrong. That actually didn't influence all of the sexuality, like all of the examinations of character sexuality in the series, necessarily. Because I think before writing for this episode, I was going through TV tropes, shit like this. I'm really addicted to TV tropes right now.
Oh yeah, me too.
And there's this article about, it's called either Everyone is Bi or No Bisexuals, where it talks about where characters, in the case of Brokeback Mountain, you always think of them as gay cowboys, and no one considers the idea that they might simply be bisexual. And I was thinking about that, and I realized I'm a perfect example of the fluidity of human sexuality, because people are rarely clear-cut gay or straight, or right in the middle, because up until a year ago, I was straight. I wasn't a bisexual transvestite. Now I am. It was just a very steady transition to that. So while I say that me being a bisexual transvestite didn't influence making all the characters bi or making Guroro a cross-dresser, my whole experience did kind of influence my outlook on it, and I guess in a way it's kind of why we're going so in-depth into it. Like, why we're thinking so heavily about, is Karo gay, is he straight, and why I'm pointing out with Guroro that it's not a big deal.
Plus, I mean, you kind of have to stick with that subject because Karo's definitely turned into a sex fiend in the series. So I mean, the sexuality of him anyway is always kind of in question in character, just because I mean, the series has such an abstract view on things that a lot of times you kind of have to sit there and go, well, let me just say what it really is, or let the character figure it out, because it also just proves to be entertaining. I mean, come on. Yeah, someone who's an idiot trying to figure out their sexuality is kind of hilarious. Especially if they don't even know what the fuck it means.
Girora hasn't figured out right from the start. I find it hilarious that the transvestite is like the transvestite who's out of touch with everything else is so in touch with his own sexuality that he understands everyone else's.
Well, he's got to know something.
The only unknown entity I think in the group is Dororo. That I think he's just open just because he's so lonely. He's just, I'll take men, I'll take women, let's take squirrels.
I love trees.
God, broccoli.
God, broccoli.
See, I was right.
Yeah, Dororo, he's not bisexual so much as he needs something. He won't take anything, he needs something.
Mm-hmm.
Dororo's just Dororo.
I like how he gets these certain things, but he still kind of denies it and calls he's lonely. You expect him just to run into that one inanimate object, like, I don't know, a coffee table, like, oh, I've found it.
I hate to spoil it, but I'm kind of a proponent of Giroro x Dororo, so don't count on that.
What'd be fun about that relationship?
And then the fangirls cried.
No, they'd celebrate.
Are you sure?
Well, a few of them like Giroro x Doro.
I wanted the humanoid frog for myself. No.
And I said that my sexuality didn't influence making all the characters bi, because from the start, I've always been a big LGBT activist. So, like, and I've always been learning more, thinking more about human sexuality anyway. So, the things we do in the series probably would have happened anyway, regardless of if I became a bisexual or not. So, that's why I say that.
The Midnight Frogs, an after-school special.
Except funny. And you don't tear your eyes out.
And they don't star B-list actors, just C-list actors.
Yeah!
Soon enough. You guys can't spell broccoli, can you?
Let's make this a game. Let's make it a game.
I like I was just quitting. No.
Oh, you talking broccoli.
Kazuki got it.
Points.
Honestly, while I was writing this episode, I couldn't remember how broccoli was spelled.
There's the Travis X burrito link. I'm curious.
Oh, great.
Wait,
Crappy Travis X burrito.
Is it by Caro Camina?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Dwight.
Fucking ass.
No, he's great, really.
Apparently, I ate my whole hand.
Back on track. I don't think we need to concern Karo's sexuality more because we kind of explained everything.
Yeah, we've already explained, to a point. You pretty much got it at this point.
Yeah, I think with just Karo, you can say he's a jackass, so he wouldn't be that self-aware. We have it established by now. Karo is both a huge, huge asshole, and he's stupid. Make it that way you will.
He's one of those characters that you see in a lot of these comedy series that, in a normal life circumstance, they wouldn't get away with this shit because they'd get their ass beat like every day. But because there's something lovable about him being such a dick, but being so stupid at the same time, you forgive him.
To a point.
He's kind of the Homer. He's kind of a Homer Simpson of the series a bit. He's such an idiot, but since he kind of gets away with it, so sometimes he does get beat up a couple episodes occasionally. So
yeah, but in the original series, like every motherfucking episode, he gets killed.
He actually gets karma in those, but not this.
And this is like, oh fuck it, it's just Kara.
No, a couple people have pointed out, and I realized it again. We have managed to make two more minor characters awesome yet again.
Yeah, Joriri and Puru. This is another case of like characters that I didn't give a crap about. But before I continue, I actually did care about Puru in the beginning. But what the thing I don't get is that like a lot of fans hate her, and I really do not understand why. It's like a Da Vinci Code puzzle to me because it's like, oh, why? I ask people, oh, why do you hate him? Oh, because she's a Mary Sue. No, she's not. She's pink. She's lavender. Shut up, okay?
Oh, shut up. She
Ain't
looks
got shit on Pururu.
Like, it's just all this hate for nothing. And like Joriri, I can understand because he's just an asshole and he talks about the stupidest shit. But like her, I don't get it. But anyway, like Joriri is another case of character that I didn't give a shit about, but eventually became cool. Just like whatchamafacer.
Grandpa Viper.
No, not him. I didn't even. He was just in the episode by coincidence. I kind of forgot about him. No, there was another character that I didn't give a shit about and that we made cool.
I honestly don't think he would have given a shit about Jory if I didn't come up with half the shit I did for Jory.
Well, yes, because you're Travis. That's why. Sumomo. That's that one.
Ah, yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah, fuck that episode. And they're like, this is going to be one joke. Oh, my God, best character ever. Yeah.
That character's quite a looker.
But the thing with Jory is, he's Travis. He's basically Travis.
It's just me thinking of really stupid one-liners, and plus, I love the idea of giving wisdom that is so abstract and lost in itself that it really means nothing. I remember when I was a jellyfish. Shit, I forgot. All right, thanks.
Thanks for the heads up.
No, the thing is with the kids, they would make something out of it. Because remember, fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. They all hold up shovels.
I love how that came out.
As kids, they just have that. They don't understand the what he's saying, but they read it as like endless depth. This is way beyond our comprehension. It must be because he's so wise.
He's like the superhero that you're like, that you grew up with. Oh my God, Batman told me to do this. It's okay now.
And of course, when they grow up, they finally realize just how weird he really was.
I do like how you pointed out them lifting up the shovels, going ridiculous.
Well, I just had to say something because you said like it was perfect timing when I was, whatever. And for Puru, well, I've been wanting to use this character for a while now. Like I remember way back, I said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna use her in season 3." I was lying. I just really wanted to use her. Like honestly, I love her. She's a great character, especially after what we did to her.
Obviously, by proxy, she will be in season 3. It's just,
yeah, yeah. She gave you a little. I guess we should explain a little more about the character.
Yeah, I want to talk about why we gave her an accent.
Yeah. You go ahead.
I think the very day Lily finished recording her Natsumi and Aki lines for episode 2, I told her I wanted to kind of work on a Puru voice since she was going to be debuting in the next episode. And I got the idea to give her a little bit of an accent because that's how I differentiated Doro from everyone else. And then Lily told me that she actually has a natural Brooklyn accent. And when we fiddled around with the tone, and then she brought in the accent, it actually worked out really well. And then when we were done recording, and Lily started talking with Yoshi, they narrowed it down and solidified it even more. So that's how we got the Puru voice.
Mm-hmm. We did like a few scenarios. I had the recording. I think I sent it to you, right? No?
I don't know.
No, I'll have to check later. See, there's a number of things about Puru. The thing is, Puru's actually incompetent as a nurse. She's how the hell she's even a nurse is just beyond us. She just is. She actually has no idea what she's doing. She has a tendency to like, how like when they start an operation, they may have like an incision. They're like, oh yeah, check here, here, here. Like she'll finish, but she'll forget to sew you back up. There are times where she's actually like a sane character, but she's hiding it so well. She's not like Doro, where like, oh my God, notice me, I'm lonely, and parents and all that. Like, let's see, how do I explain it without being too spoily? Like she has this thing where Like, remember when she was like talking about looking at Doro's heart and making a fortune out of Caro's spleen? Well, she actually collects people's organs and sell them to a black market because she's some. It's part of this midnight circus thing. She's just crazy, okay?
Even I don't know the whole story.
Yeah, me and Lily just went back and forth with it. Basically, me and her created the character, so both developed it. So yeah, isn't that nice?
My God.
Not really.
And I'm really glad. And I'm really glad at how people accepted the voice. I was thinking, oh god, they're gonna think it's like Lois or something from Family Fucker, whatever it's called.
Pretty much everyone thought, like, everyone really accepted it.
They loved it.
It was a very natural accent. It sounded good for the character. It wasn't like, oh my God, from Brooklyn, like over the top shit.
It's because it is a natural accent. Like, when Lily goes into her Brooklyn accent, it takes her hours to get out of it.
I think that's a plus for us.
Yeah. It did freak out her boyfriend, though.
I didn't know you had a Brooklyn accent, even though you're from the area.
Fewer diagnoses. Someone on Facebook, I think his name's Nathan, he wanted her little thing about Tamama not having the vaginas explained, because he interpreted it as meaning Tamama isn't a girl but a guy again. That's not it. That's actually part of Puru being incompetent. You can't really tell if her diagnoses are correct or just really stupid. Tamama being allergic to shoes is part of that. Tamama is still a girl, don't worry. It's an example of Puru being a little bit off.
But the question is she allergic to shoes?
Up for debate.
She doesn't wear shoes.
I'm just imagine an episode where he runs to a pile of shoes and just goes, ah! And grabbing her face.
I just imagine they walk into like a department store, all of a sudden he's in the hospital. She.
Damn my shopping addiction!
Discounts! Discounts!
Maybe that's how he got stuck in the train in the first place. He saw some shoes.
I'm locked inside a car in a department store. Save me!
Actually, that's another thing. First the car, now the tree. How the fuck does Tom ever get into these situations?
He's outgoing, I guess. Finds himself out there.
Maybe it was shoes that were in those bags.
Yeah, but those are like supposed to be sweets and well, whatever.
Remember, Tamama isn't a sweets lover with diabetes.
Yeah, we're just psychos.
Yeah, we're nuts.
I think my favorite diagnosis is like, oh, Guerrero, one of your toes is redder than the others.
And that just bothers me.
And that just bothers me.
Why would you bring that up?
I don't know.
Make him feel bad, I guess. I mean,
I gotta give you something, no? Who's the doctor?
And of course, Dororo has everything. For the life of me, I can't remember how we first came up with that.
Yeah, I actually walked into that one. I think that was like one of the first established things I heard about when I came in. It's like, oh, right, we're writing episode 11. So it's like, so yeah, Doro has everything. What?
I remember, I think it was like around the end of episode 9 or 10.
Probably
we were throwing... Yeah, 10. We were like throwing a few ideas around season 2 because, gotta work on it. Mm-hmm. And so... Speaking of which, hang on, before I continue, I remember seeing a comment somewhere saying that, like, oh, the Midnight Frogs are back. We've been making... We didn't even stop with the remakes. We kept going. We never left.
We've still maintained our 1 or 2 abridged videos each month track record from last October.
And I just thought it was like an interesting thing to point out. Like, oh, they're back. We left.
And I don't know if you're aware of this, Storm, but I think you're stealing comedy from the Midnight Frogs.
I know. It's like this Team Bulge Bomber taking shit, like taking voices even.
You have to talk about that. You have to talk about
I love that.
Oh, God. Pretty self-explanatory. On, I think, Jetter's Abridged 1, someone posted a comment, are you taking stuff from Sergeant Frog Abridged? I responded, I make Sergeant Frog Abridged.
It's like you didn't answer my question.
Yeah, so is that. Yes, sir.
The best part is, I specifically make Jetters Abridged with the intent of never referencing Sergeant Frog Abridged. It specifically stands on its own.
Apparently not.
What the fuck?
Hey, who's that Thornbrain guy?
Not everyone on YouTube is that bright. In fact, I've been even funnier. It's like, you just stole the name from one of the users of Midnight Frogs. How dare you?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But anyway, getting back on track. It was around the end of episode 10 or so where we were throwing around ideas, and we were, trying to come up with something for Puru because, it was a character I wanted to introduce. And I don't know I think I came up with that line where it was like, she just looks at Dora and was like, "Oh, you have everything?"
No, I don't know how we got there, but I was the one who said, Doro, I don't know how to tell you this, but you have every disease ever, and you just kind of shorten it to you have everything.
Yeah, that's how it went. I was like, you have everything? So
I do love your delivery for Doro when he's like, I don't have love.
I don't have love. Well, I don't! Why does nobody get that?
That's not on the medical chart.
I don't know if this is just coincidence, but you just reminded me of something. I heard the intro theme for this video game / anime called Sengoku Basara, and during the chorus, there's a little bit of English mixed in there, where he actually says the word "lonely dance." I was like, what the fuck?
We have to listen to this song.
I'll link it to you guys later. It's in the chorus, which makes it even better.
Lonely dance.
Lonely dance in the background.
But Adoro. I still can't remember. I came up with it. It was just it was something that happened while we were thinking up Puru's introduction episode. Since we lied to you guys yet again, we were planning to introduce her in this episode.
Yeah.
And I think it was just a case of it came along, then I realized that perfectly explains Dororo's weird little eye movements in episode 6, and his sudden random spasm in episode 7, and then his second spasm in episode 10. He has every disease ever, and apparently they're not as benign as Puru thinks, but I'm not going any further with that.
He has every disease, but it's not enough to kill him. He's
You even have a yeast infection.
You even have a yeast. Yeah, I find it funny he has some female diseases too. Female specific.
I think one of my more favorite parts is where she's about to read and she's like, and she closes her mouth.
How can you say it? There's no simple way of saying it. You have everything.
I like his thought he can see usually. So there's just ever situations where he's just sitting there like, I'm not telling anyone, but I can't see shit.
Last time he did, I thought it was just coffee.
Maybe that's how he ends up getting, the one part where he runs up going, what? Maybe he got lost in the woods from being blind. Heard it because of super blind hearing. And we ran back home. I know where I am now. What?
No, he doesn't have... He is a male. He doesn't have female anatomy. He just has female diseases.
It's just, he's Dororo, there.
Yeah. And, breast cancer actually isn't female specific. Men get it. It's referred to as pectoral cancer.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta make it sound manly somehow.
Your pecs are breasts. Hate to break it to you guys. Why do you think men have nipples? They're the same thing.
Newsflash!
I thought they were testosterone knobs.
They weren't milk duds?
They're not. My penis isn't the only thing that gets erect.
Thank you, Snake.
Go over there now.
Anytime I can help.
Speaking about Metal Gear Solid.
I found Cosmopolitan!
Raiden's in the series now.
Yay, Raiden!
And he is not the scrappy that he is in Metal Gear Solid 2. And Rose is never going to be in the series, don't you worry. But
although for fun, sometimes this girlfriend of mine will do voices of Rose, and I just act like I'm very uninterested. She just messaged me, she's like, "You should save your game." I'm like, "Shut up, bitch."
But the reason we brought Raiden in this series, I probably already spoiled this in a podcast. It might have actually been where we came up with the joke. But since it's season 2, and for most of season 1, we were just referencing Metal Gear Solid 1, I thought for season 2 we could reference Metal Gear Solid 2 a bit more. And in that same vein, bring in Raiden, since he's in Metal Gear Solid 2. And you could probably imagine for season 3, we're probably going to have Naked Snake or something, if I can find a good model for him. And then season 4, Old Snake. It'll be something like that. Be a bit of a running gag. But in Raiden's case, he's not so much referential to Metal Gear Solid 2 as a metrosexual Facebook Twitter feed.
Like, Solid Snake was actually kind of helpful in a sense, but I think Ryan's going to pop up and just be like, I have something to tell you guys. I know it's not unrelated to the subject, but I want you guys to hear me out. All right, I'm leaving. I think it started just because I just randomly just went, you guys going to IHOP? Yeah, I'm going to IHOP.
It's like as soon as he said it, he realized nobody's going with him.
Like, I don't care what you guys say, I'm going to IHOP.
Fuck all y'all.
Haven't heard that in a while.
Why didn't remind you of Homestar 1? That'd be. I don't see the connection.
I have to say that the part where like where the bathroom explodes is like one of my favorite parts of the episode. It's just Attica!
I just remember hearing that because I remember there's a Raiden prank call that I heard because they actually used a lot of lines from Metal Gear Solid 2, and he'd just call these random places and it'd just be like the ceiling of the women's bathroom is set to blow. Like what?
We've managed to avoid drowning.
Yeah, we managed to avoid drowning.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's probably gonna be the last reference to Metal Gear Solid that Raiden actually makes. He's just gonna pop up in the middle of a war field. He's like, my God, guys, it is hot out.
I managed to avoid drowning.
Tidal waves.
Oh fuck.
I'm gonna love using Raiden.
Yeah, Raiden looks like he's gonna be fun, really.
My God, half price hair products.
Well, that fits so perfectly because I remember reading some like Metal Gear extra material, like an interview or something, where I think like Kojima mentioned that Raiden's apparently supposed to be bit of a narcissist, and I don't quite see that in at least in the dub for Metal Gear Solid 2. But he certainly looks like it, so it's fun to make fun of it.
Mm-hmm. I just want him to I need him to pop up at some point and be like,
I have 1,000 gold deans.
Well, I'll think about it.
all right, that's my pitch.
We'll see what happens.
Moving on to Pururu in the post-credits. As someone rightfully pointed out, there is a lot of foreshadowing in this, because I like foreshadowing. This episode, along with episode 10, are good examples of how Hideo Kojima has affected me. It is foreshadowing, not going to explain any of it, but it is something for you guys to keep in mind that the shit going down in Season 2, like, we're talking conspiracy shit. There are people out to get the Karo platoon, and I'm hoping it's going to be interesting. Yeah, shadow forwarding.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing, sorry.
Shadow forwarding.
Shadow forwarding. When I start talking, I stop thinking. I'm sorry.
Sounds like a very obscure sport.
Shadow forwarding. Don't get caught.
I like him golfing in the dark.
Did I win?
4, I think.
I wanted episode 11 to kind of like establish all of season 2, because season 1 didn't really have a point until we got to episode 10, and then we had to make one.
Season 1 was basically, hey, look, it's Karo, and he's doing something stupid. That's about it.
Well, that end, we were just starting.
Yeah.
It was just us picking up our legs, and with the remakes, we kind of managed to set up a bit of an undercurrent of a plot.
Yeah, now Sergeant Frog has a plot. You're welcome.
Yeah. Fuckers. So yeah,
No more whining, Kay.
so yeah, season 2, foreshadowing, intended for a plot.
Should be fun.
And yeah, we didn't use the numbers 4 or 9, not intentionally though. We just forgot to.
Yeah.
We're not done with those. Don't worry.
No, 4 and 9. That's no. The scary thing is that four keeps showing up everywhere in real life. I swear to God, everywhere.
He swears, man. He swears.
Jeez, I've been seeing it everywhere these past few weeks. It's like, okay, that's nice. That's
You just
great,
sat there
right?
in public like you're eating lunch, and you're like, wait a minute, what's wrong? My God, 4 comes after 3.
No, not like that, Travis. You fuck. I'll be like in a commercial. $49. Ah!
Then they change the Gulf Channel 4. Ah! Throwing the remote at the TV and screaming.
Then the remote breaks and out pops 4 AAAs. Ah!
It somehow changes over to the German channel 9.
Okay.
I think I'd be losing my mind if that started happening.
In my songwriting class, I specifically made sure that the seat I got was marked 4.
There's a girl sitting in her chair. It's like, what the fuck?
No, it was open. In fact,
Good.
it was in the aisle D, so I have the chair D4.
You go to a hotel. It's just like, I need either room 4 or 9. They're full. Well, I'm not staying here then. Good day to you, sir.
Hey, playing bingo. B49. Bingo. Wait.
Bingo! My God.
You just like sit back down really quick.
Eyes shifting.
This new special only costs 4 payments of $9.
God, D is the 4th letter of the alphabet. Mother of fuck.
God damn it! It's everywhere.
That's pretty much it for that. Like, explanations, stories, and everything. You guys have any favorite jokes or lines?
I remember how happy Yoshi was that we actually kept that.
I was just dicking around when we were watching the video. Like, that's the kind of thing that as soon as you come out with it, you might be having fun mocking it, but you really don't think that should go in an episode.
That's half of my jokes. I'm just sitting there like, I just thought of something ridiculous. Oh, we're putting that in. What?
Well, with you it works. For me, it never works. So I don't know how it managed to. I guess it's just because we kept it brief.
I like saying cockily burpity burr.
Burpity burp.
Oh, something to point out. Like, did you guys notice, like, during Kulu's part, he was putting the trash out of the bag? He was, like, putting trash onto the ground.
Yeah, that was my idea. I kept on saying, it's like, you should make it just go in reverse. That'd look great.
Yeah, and it works because he's been in that box for God knows how long, and then as soon as he gets out, he's hungry, he's delirious. It kind of works.
It'd been kind of funny if we're like, technology actually exists to the extent we see him just taking the things out of the garbage pail and sticking his face in the bag and eating. So hungry. A lot of people liked God broccoli.
How could you not?
Like, when you first told me that, I'm like, God broccoli. Even I said it exactly like poor, like, God broccoli.
And that was something else that came up in like 5 seconds.
I was like, Thorn, put that in. Put that in.
I do like his justification. Well, it's a good vegetable.
That's because broccoli is a good vegetable.
God broccoli, though. Real good.
Like,
So
that's
stupid.
that's how the whole conversation went in my head when I came up with it. No, it's because when Yoshi and I were doing a bit of brainstorming for episode 11, I went to get dinner and my parents set out a vegetable tray. I first looked at the broccoli in the tray, and I thought about how in the original series, Doro's kind of a hippie. So when Puru pressured him to, like, why the fuck do you have everything and you're still alive? Like, he would say something, I eat my greens. And I thought, And then what kind of vegetable would do that? God broccoli.
So dumb.
I pretty much had the entire conversation in my head, and when you talk to anybody about God broccoli and explain it to them, the conversation you have with them works out in the same way.
I end up liking the joke of Doro just where they're just like, so you still have that bedwetting problem? Not anymore. Now I just cry. I do it out of my face. And it made me think that like he just jumps into bed crying hysterically, gets the bed all wet, passes out in his depression, wakes up and goes, "Oh no, not again."
Guys, stop ruining God broccoli. Okay, all radish is kind of funny, but stop. I actually really like how nobody likes Dororo, but if you actually sat down and talked with him, he's really pleasant.
There's nothing really wrong with him. It's just everyone treats him like shit. So maybe he just has depression problems. I feel like if people treat him normally, it'd be like, something's wrong here.
I just checked the messages for the Skype chat that I'm not in. 94. I have 94 messages that I haven't checked. I swear to God. Moving on, just move on.
I'm a giant number 9. Woo!
Oh, 90. Okay, I see.
Now you get.
How is this relevant? Oh, I see.
Just shut up, Thornton. Freaking. Just move on.
That's scary.
He's gonna go cry.
Stop
excuse me.
ignoring me.
That's like Yoshi's not like, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go wet my bed with my face.
Yeah, episode 9, like when asked the question for the interview, Doro was like, "Oh, totally. Let me tell you." Cut away instantly. And then Puru sits down with Doro, and he just answers totally straightforward, just normal conversations. Nobody likes him.
He's the most likable person in the group, but nobody likes him. That's what's interesting.
Koyuki likes him.
Yeah, the one other two people like Doro, Koyuki and Giroro.
I think Giroro is just one of those people that has the normal sense like every once in a while, but sometimes he's the most out of sense too, which kind of makes him interesting.
I don't think it needs to be explained, but I'm glad we're developing. I'm developing Giroro and Doro's friendship a little bit. It's nice to have the big angry gun enthusiast have an actual friend, let alone the guy nobody else likes.
I feel like there's just a point where Giroro's so frustrated by his biological situations that Doro was the only one he could walk up to and be like, "Hey, can I vent?"
Yeah, even Giroro can't take Keroro sometimes. Why didn't Puru do a diagnosis on Kululu? I actually think I thought about that, and I think I do have an explanation. Through this entire episode, nobody seems to care about Kululu anymore.
They kind of forgot about him.
Yeah,
they were in a fucking box with him, and they didn't even know he was there.
Yeah, and they didn't find him. He got out of the box himself when Keroro opened it. What's even better, Kulu is now Doro. Maybe not necessarily, but Saburo is. Saburo totally is that forgotten little jerk that nobody notices him. And in the original series, Saburo and Kululu are partners. So that's funny. The two of them are now the forgotten ones.
I just feel like that it'd be impossible to edit, but I'd like to imagine like Kululu and Saburo sitting at a bar. They're always about to say something, but they don't. Then they kind of stop themselves, like just back and forth. I like the reoccurrence of the serious side of Keroro. I don't know why that's amusing. It just is.
It's one of those things, messing with the usual conventions in a way that makes them fresh. The bags are on the ground because they're in the ground in that source video. And I pointed it out if you listen carefully to Tomoma's babbling.
It's like, what are those shiny bags?
You're such an ass. I hope you
And he's gone.
The podcast is pretty much over.
Yep.
So I think we're going to end it here. We'll probably still keep talking to the chat and everything, but that's it for the SFA11 podcast.